And finally for us tonight, a spoiler alert. Researchers in California have looked deeply into this question, whether knowing the ending ahead of time ruins our enjoyment of books and movies. Now, I'd reveal what they concluded, but that might spoil the story, or not, as we learn from CTV's Geneviève Bushman.
This story may not end quite the way you thought. But, well, here's the plot twist. It seems for most, knowing how it ends doesn't spoil the story.
I kind of like knowing the ending. It makes me excited to see where the characters are going to go and when they're going to get to that point.
It is a bit counterintuitive.
The term spoiler suggests that people think that they spoil. They're not called enhancers, after all.
But researchers tested this theory, giving away the ending of a variety of books, including mysteries. And in the majority of cases, readers rated the stories higher, as though the brain had time to prepare and comprehend the plot better.
Really, the value of a story isn't knowing who did it. You know, I could do that in one sentence. The butler did it, right? And you get no aesthetic pleasure from that.
There are examples. Everyone knew, of course, where this was going.
The ship will sink.
And it didn't turn off moviegoers.
From the big hungry bear.
Children's books, too, those fairy tales, simple stories are still page-turners no matter how often the pages have already been turned.
They get on a kick where they want to read the same one over and over and over again, and that's fun.
Perhaps reassuring to J.K. Rowling, who was furious at newspapers for revealing plot lines of her latest Harry Potter installment. Still, for some grown-ups, adult books are a different monster altogether.
I want to discover it.
And some thrillers could lose their thrill.
I see dead people.
Still, in most cases, it's about the journey, not the destination, as they say.
We're always careful not to tell the ending, thinking that we don't want to spoil the book. But it's interesting to hear that. Actually, maybe it doesn't spoil the book.
And so for most, knowing how it ends doesn't spoil the story. Then again, you already knew that.
It seems for most, knowing how it ends doesn't spoil the story.
Geneviève Bushman, CTV News, Montreal.
Well, you may know how we're going to end. That's the kind of day it's been this Monday, August 15th. I'm Lloyd Robertson. For all of us here in the National Newsroom, good night. For many of you, local CTV News comes next.
CTV News, Canada's #1 newscast.